All right, so our picks this week. And Garrett, have you submitted yours yet?
I have. I'm looking at them right now.
Okay, so let's start out with Oklahoma State and Kansas State. Garrett, as you are the producer and the reason this show gets on the air every single day, I will give you the first pick.
I'm rolling with Kansas State.
So am I.
I think last week was just one where that doesn't happen to that program hardly ever. And I don't see them not coming out and responding in a positive way after that happened to them. That was flat out embarrassing. What BYU was able to do to K-State was remarkable. Hats off to the Cougs, but that was not Wildcat football. When you look at Oklahoma State, they're good, but Ollie Gordon still hasn't gotten rolling. I still don't trust Alan Bowman. I think you're looking at a game where Avery Johnson has a bounce back, and we see him actually get some work done with his arms against this Oklahoma State defense who really hasn't found themselves since losing Oliver earlier on in the year. I just think this is one where if it was in Boone Pickens, I would probably lean Oklahoma State, but the fact that it's up there in Kansas State and in the Little Apple, man, I got to ride with K-State.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma State has more defensive problems than K-State does. Neither of these teams are quite as good as I think we thought they were going to be.
I think Oklahoma State's about what we thought they were going to be. I think Kansas State's more the disappointment.
Well, as far as disappointment goes, but
for their standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah, at least to this point so far. Yeah. All right, USF at Tulane. This one, man, I went back and forth. I think USF has the better quarterback right now, although I'm not seasoned at Tulane. They're both 2-2. I'm going to roll with the Bulls here, although I don't feel great about it.
I'm with you, and I took South Florida because their resume is ridiculous of what they have gone through. Yeah. They pushed Bama in that game, really the whole first half. The Tide were able to open it up in the second half there. and then playing Miami. That's Tulane they've played good people. You play K-State. But that's just different what they've done, what they've seen with the Bulls. I like Alex Golish a lot. I think he's an excellent coach. I think this is going to be a fun matchup and a really good back and forth game, but I'm going to ride with USF.
A&M and Arkansas, the last of these games that we played at the neutral site at Jerry World. Thank God. I would do this once every 10 years if you wanted to keep doing it.
Maybe, but it's pointless.
Just so the fans in Dallas of both these schools can it's easy to get to. But these things are better on home campuses.
Yes.
College football is meant to be played on college campuses. That's what's great about it. You know what's around Jerry World, another stadium and a big hotel.
Yeah, and a Walmart.
A Walmart and an amusement park. That's all well and good, but that's a pro sports thing.
Yeah.
I want to go, when I go to College Station or Fayetteville, I want to, if I'm an alum, I want to go to my favorite bar and get a drink before all the kids get there. Believe me, there's nothing that'll make you feel quite as old as walking into your favorite bar from when you were 22 at 7 p.m. and it's just you and other 40-year-olds. Right. Oh, hey, how you doing? Class of 02, class of 05. You guys aren't going to hang out until 11:30 when everybody actually gets here? Oh, no.
That's bedtime, buddy.
I've been asleep for an hour at that point.
That's my life. That's my life.
No. We're going to go here. We're going to take pictures here. It's dark outside, so people will think it's late.
It's the perception.
We're gonna make sure it's a tight photo. A tight photo. Not out so you can't see anybody's there.
Right.
Make sure the other 40-year-olds are there, bunch up.
Yeah, just
bunch up and be at the bar. Oh, man.
It's packed.
Yeah, Popeyes or whatever it is. Not Popeyes. One Eyes is packed. It's packed at 7:22 p.m.
Woo.
Make sure you take the timestamp off your thing. So we have the college dive bar here in Waco is called Scruffy Murphy's.
Never been in it, but I've driven by it a few times.
Yeah. So when Smokey first got here, Scruffs invited him to come by. And so he went after the show at 6:30.
He's the only dude in there.
So we went he's like, you coming? I'm like, I would like to see Scruffs at 6:30 before all the urine hits the floor. Yeah. And so I went into And the thing is, it was just me and Smokey and people who should have been in rehab.
Oh my
Like,
God.
the kind like
It's like the people at Cry and Shame at 6 a.m.
yeah, like if you ever like left your credit card at a bar and had to go get it, and then you walk in and like the same people are sitting at the bar, like,
Yes.
like didn't I just leave you here when I left it? Like left my credit card accidentally? Like that's those people. You're like, oh man, yeah,
Nope.
yeah. We have a bar called the Cry and Shame here, which is the most aptly named bar you have ever gone to, because it is absolutely
Brutal.
a crying shame.
Yes.
It is.
Rough.
Oh man, and not like rough in the
No,
like, there's,
but
like,
it's
fights or anything.
No, but it's
the sad
bad.
bar.
Yeah.
It's where you go when you've given up.
Yes.
But
Nope.
A&M and Arkansas, I'll take A&M in this one. I think it'll be a good game. I think that Arkansas is going to be able to move the ball a little bit. But A&M's defense is really good with Mike Elko there. And I think Marcel Reed's just fun. And like I know we're going to be this week to week on the quarterback thing, but I'm telling you right now, as long as they keep winning with Marcel Reed's going to be the guy.
I mean, that's kind of the trend we're seeing right now. But at the same time, like I'm going with A&M as well. And it might bite me. I hate picking the Aggies. I like Taylor Green a lot. I think that Arkansas's offense can be fun when they're firing on all cylinders. And I know they got that win last week over Auburn, but I'm with you on this. I think A&M's defense is ultimately going to be the difference. So I'm going to ride with the Aggies.
Yep. By the way, retired stockbroker says Paul Catalina, the bidet candidate of the future. Preparation 8 does not endorse or support him. I don't need their money. I don't want their money.
They're coming for your knees, man.
Yeah. You
They're
know
coming
what?
for your knees.
Yeah. I'm going to make life harder for you. Yeah. Preparation H. You won't need it if you're clean. All right, Colorado at UCF. This is Big Noon. Like, Big Noon hasn't gotten to ride the Dion train this year.
Nope.
So now they get to go. They rode the Dion train for like the month.
Yeah,
right?
they took the whole damn first start of the season
They need
last
their
year.
fix. Big Noon needs their prime fix. So on the road at UCF at Memory Mall, going to look really cool. Like, I'll tell you right now, that is going to look cool. That is going to look really, really cool because of the scene they have there at UCF. It just like goes right, basically, if you just drew a straight line out of the back entrances of the stadium, straight down the way is just some of the best tailgating I've ever seen in my life.
I know the pictures looked awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Like it's great. I'm going to try to find a way to get to UCF about every other year. I think like if I can get there again, it's just a fun place to be. It's just a fun place to be, and they've done a great job there. That being said, Colorado will get some shots in. They'll score some points on this UCF defense, I'm sure. But I think ultimately they will not be able to stop this run offense. And the line is 14.5 right now. I don't know if that's gonna be the difference, but I do think that UCF will be able to run the clock out on this game quite a bit because, everybody came away impressed with the improvement on Colorado's defensive line last week against Baylor, which I would caution you that this is not like this is the big leagues when it comes to running the ball and what Gus Malzahn has going on there at UCF. So yeah, I'm taking UCF in this one comfortably.
I'm going to take the Knights as well. I think they kind of keep away from Colorado's potent offense. I think that's a smart approach because defensively, I don't think they can match up with the superstar talent that Colorado has. I honestly think this could, if Colorado could keep things going, they could make this interesting because I think they could score on UCF. But I just, that rushing attack, like you said, I think that's too much for Colorado's defense to handle. I think they're going to get pushed around in the trenches a little bit. So I'm going to roll with the Knights.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think it's be comfortable.
But I mean, that's big game for Dion going back to Florida, like and Travis Hunter and being able to recruit and use that. That's an interesting pull.
He was a candidate at USF as well before he went to Colorado. And look, I'm sure he had some thought of like this Colorado roster is terrible. Had it been the old rules, I'd have gone to USF before Colorado.
Yeah.
Like there had not been like massive transfer portal where you could
just bring in and
clear
overhaul.
out. I would have gone to probably USF at that point. Like this is the worst FBS roster in the country. Like I'm confident in my abilities, but let me go here to USF where I can just go like, oh, I'm in the hotbed of talent. I'm one of those famous people ever from this state. Like, here we go. Like that. that he would have gotten an SEC job if he won at USF faster to me.
Probably. Or Florida State.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen now. Nope. I'm not holding out hope for it, and I don't care. So, I like where Florida State's at coaching wise.
Yeah, I would take Norvell over Dion.
Yeah, I think we set unrealistic expectations this year. I'm a part of that. I realize
y'all all should be.
Yeah. Kansas and TCU. By the way, there's no signed contract to play at Arrowhead.
No.
I think, Garrett, it's going to work out because they are paying a Jayhawk on the field right now. So, but this is going to be one of those 11th hour deals where okay, here we're down to the agreement. But they have not
just
this
sign
is months
some
and months of
paperwork.
negotiating this. They have not signed the contract yet.
That's pointless. Sign it. If you're going to talk about it and you're going to put it out there, make sure you have a written contract.
They don't sound all that worried about it on either side. I think the issue seems to be insurance, but I'm sure they'll get it worked out. Again,
yeah.
The Chiefs clearly think it's going to get worked out because they're penning a Jayhawk in the middle of the field right now, and it's too late to make them go somewhere else. Now, if they have to go back to Sporting KC for the next home game and go, all right, same deal, that might be. I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't flipped. 2 games at Arrowhead and most at Sporting KC.
That would have made more sense.
Well, just because of the
smaller, you had the
smaller. You can fit are they going to fill up Arrowhead? I hope so.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, I'm going to take Kansas in this one because of they're not traveling. But I have no whatever team I picked here, I have no faith in this pick. I'm almost expecting if I picked the other one, it would go the other way. So I'm chalking this one up to I'm going to get it wrong, but I'm picking Kansas right now.
So I'm kind of right there with you, but I'm going with TCU. I think that their defense is kind of a hot mess right now, but I like what Josh Hoover's doing. I think he's the better quarterback in this matchup. I do not trust Jeff Grimes as an offensive coordinator. I think that's what's going on with that Kansas offense is abysmal. So I'm going to ride with TCU in this to get a bounce back dub.
All right, you convinced me. I'm changing my mind. Yeah.
I can't do it, man. That losing Kolonicki was so massive.
Yeah, I'll go with TCU to bounce back, although that was chaotic last week.
Yes.
And they certainly let I don't know if they let UCF beat them twice, but they didn't get over it.
They definitely probably did.
Yeah, and then SMU comes in with an attitude.
That was personal for the Ponies.
Yeah, it was very personal.
That was personal.
Very personal. OU against Auburn. I know that Oklahoma rolling out Hawkins this week and all that, people will be nervous. I have no faith that Auburn's going to get anywhere close to a bowl game at this point, and I would be willing to bet that after last week, Hugh Freeze has lost a good chunk of that locker room. Mm-hmm. And man, Hugh, I don't care for Hugh Freeze because I
thought it was a terrible hire. This is why I didn't think it was a good hire. You knew this stuff was going to happen.
Well, I mean, because I think he's a phony.
Yes.
He can go back. Here's the deal. When Jamie Chadwell finally gets his rightful position, maybe at Auburn, I don't know, but at the Power 4 level, then he can just go back to Liberty, where that's where he needs to be.
Yeah, that seemed like the perfect fit for you, Freeze.
Yeah.
Liberty.
Yeah.
I'm going with Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma. Auburn, he hates their quarterbacks, even though he brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be the guru. Yeah, no, I have no qualms about picking Oklahoma in this game on the road, even as wonky as they've been. They're in a much better spot as a team collectively than Auburn is. Yeah.
I also think it benefits Oklahoma playing one of the better teams in the SEC last week, especially on defense and in the trenches, where Auburn's still going to be big. They're still going to be good, but they're not on par with Tennessee. No. And, so I think that's another edge where you can kind of look at Oklahoma in this matchup. And they need a good win. And this would be a great way to go and get that first dub in the SEC.
Yep. Louisville and Notre Dame in South Bend.
Man, I kind of feel about this one the way we were talking about the A&M Arkansas or UCF Colorado. This could go either way for me. I picked Louisville, and I'll probably regret this pick because it just feels like one of those games where Notre Dame would win. It's in South Bend, but I'm still going to ride with Louisville and the hot Cardinals right now.
I'm going to take Notre Dame. I'm taking Notre Dame in this one.
They'll probably win. I'll probably regret this one, but
what?
I'm probably going to regret this. But
I think Mike Denbrock. Here's what makes Mike Denbrock good. He tried to do some things with Riley Leonard he thought he could do. Mm-hmm. They didn't work.
He adjusted.
He said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to run Riley Leonard. We're going to run Love. We're going to do, like, we lost this Northern Illinois game. I'm not going to spend time, like, he's not going to be Hugh Freeze and blame it on everybody else. Okay, what are we going to do well, and what's going to win for us?
Right.
And he did that. That's what he did quarterback to quarterback at LSU. Like, that's what he's done over his career. You can try to run your stuff. Like, you have a little window of, like, trying to run your stuff. But the minute it's ineffective and causes you to lose, that's when the smart coaches go, okay, whoa. Mm-hmm. Scrap this. Marcus Freeman went from, like, when he lost to Northern Illinois, people were like, will he be the most sought-after defensive coordinator in the country? Next year, like, whoa. Like,
no.
Pump your brakes.
No.
But he would be.
I don't know.
Look, if he gets fired at Notre Dame, if he got fired at Notre Dame,
I mean, some other people might be available too.
Yeah, what?
Some other people might be available too.
Yeah, but he'd be one of, like, he's on par with that.
Correct.
Right? Like, that's
fair.
What yeah.
That's fair.
I know we all know who you're talking about,
yes.
Garrett. You don't have to drive far to get to his office.
No, do not.
But we'll finish with Bama and Georgia. We'll do that one last. Utah and Arizona. Utah.
Yeah.
I think this will be a better game than Utah's maybe seen all year because of the quarterback-wide receiver combo, but they're just better.
I don't, man. Like, I think outside of that, like, Arizona has nothing. And I think that Utah's defense has the bullies up front to get and rattle Fafita. I think they have the experience of playing this offense before, so they're not going to have that. Arizona's not going to have that advantage they've had over teams that they played so far from the Big 12 that haven't seen them. I think this is one where Utah just cruises, honestly. But I'm interested to see, does Cam Rising come back and play? And if not, can we see Isaac Wilson take another step forward as he's done the past opportunities he's had?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Wazzu at Boise State.
This could be one of the best games of the weekend.
Yeah, it's 9:00 Saturday night.
I will pass out and miss it.
I'll still be in Dallas, so maybe I'll watch it on my phone on the way back.
Yeah.
So we're not staying overnight in Dallas now because our friends aren't coming. So the condition for us not staying overnight, Amanda wanted to be back at home, was that I don't have to drive back. That was my negotiation.
So you're gonna make her drive?
Yes, she has said she'll drive.
Okay.
And I will tell you, when it comes to her and I in the car at the same time, the score is Paul 1,000,000, Amanda 4.
She's not a good driver?
No, she just doesn't like to drive. She's fine driving.
That's how my wife is. She doesn't like to drive either.
They just didn't want, like, she has just decided, here are the old-fashioned things that I will say. The man has to do this and hope that I, as a man, go, you know what? You're damn right. But it's not everything.
Right.
So, no. Like, as a very progressive man, more power to the ladies, I'm fine with him driving.
Yeah, take it. Have at it.
I'm fine. Like, fine. I don't love driving enough to do that, but I drive most of the places that we go.
I do too.
Yeah. I mean, and when I say most, it's not like 60,
like 95%.
I'm like 99%.
Yeah.
I have to be zonked drunk for her. So, like, that's only happened like twice in our whole relationship. Twice. Although I will say this, it flips when we're back in Nashville.
Oh, she's more comfortable.
Well, because she knows where she's going.
Yeah.
But that's like, doesn't count because we're in her city.
Yeah.
So, anyway. And finally.
Who are you picking?
Oh, who am I picking? Wazzu.
I'm taking Boise.
Well, you taking Boise?
I'm taking Boise. I like Ashton Jeanty a lot, and Wazzu's probably going to get him, man, but I'm going to ride with the Broncos.
I'm going to take Wazzu and John Mateer. That's who I'm picking.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah. All right, Georgia and Alabama. Garrett, who you got?
Roll Tide.
I'm taking the Tide too. Jalen Milroe's hot.
He's good.
He's hot. They've got young wide receivers making plays all over the place. They can run the ball. Kalen DeBoer is going to take some chances.
Georgia's vulnerable, man. Like they're
Georgia's
beat up a little
right
bit in the trenches.
especially along the offensive
Yeah,
line. They've got a lot of
they're beat
injuries
up.
right now. Yeah, Georgia's a little vulnerable right now.
They don't have the playmaker. Like they have playmakers, but they don't have like multiple reliable playmakers that they had like the past couple of years.
How pissed off are SEC fans going to be if Kalen DeBoer, the year after Saban, just has them right back where they were before?
Oh my God, very. That
Saban
would be
retiring
so
was supposed
frustrating.
to be the reprieve, and to this point,
They haven't missed a beat.
I've seen no reprieve.
Like I mean, it's changed a little bit, but the mindset is there. Like, the culture
Now,
is there.
When there's no more Saban players left, I guess we'll see that.
Yeah,
But-
that would be interesting because that would be like the TCU Sonny Dykes thing because we got that little window and then now we're kind of seeing where it is.
Yeah. So I'm taking Bama at home, and that's the first chaos we get at the top.
Yep.
All right, I said 45 minutes. We've gone 50.
Hey,
So there we
put
go.
it in.
Bonus 5 minutes.